And we're in Marinette, Wisconsin, going to the Bigfoot convention. Let's go in! Convention's this way. Let's go!
I'm really most interested in is Barnaby's findings on the historic downtown Menominee.
Why do you believe in Bigfoot?
Well, take a look right down here. I wear a size 16 shoe. Have you ever seen a bigger foot?
Yeah, some bigger footprint.
Oh, like the big hairy monster creature from the Black Lagoon, Bigfoot guy that walks around and thumping on trees, and that one?
Huh? Yes, we did.
Okay.
Look good for your parents. Question mark?
Here's why I believe in Bigfoot. Every year, every day, every month, somewhere around the world, new discoveries are being made about creatures we never even knew existed. They may be smaller than your little pinky nail, or they may be something from the bottom of the ocean. They may be deep in a jungle. But every day, some new species is being found. So why not Bigfoot?
Did you start this festival thing?
No, actually, the very first year, I was a reporter for a local newspaper, and I heard about this fella just north of town who captured a Bigfoot image on his game camera out in the woods. And I thought, man, that would be a really great story. So I called him up and set up an interview just like you guys are doing with me, and said, hey, Craig, I said, I don't really fully believe in Bigfoot, but I got to see that picture. I got to know what's going on. So he let me come up by him. He showed me the picture. We did an interview. And the very first year I went to his convention, just like you guys are. And then after that, I got on the committee, and then they hired me to be their MC. And by hire, I mean I do it for free. My job is to keep the show going, keep people interested, keep them entertained, introduce the guest, give a little background on each person that speaks, and to be honest, I make some of it up just so that it's kind of funny.
So you make some of the stuff up?
Well, of course I do.
Like just some, like the ridiculous things that don't make sense?
Yes, if it's nonsense, then I'm involved in it.
Next question. Do you do anything with any other cryptid besides Bigfoot? If so, which ones?
This is the only convention I do. It really takes all year because I'm also on the committee, and we decide where we're going to have the convention, what speakers we're going to have. We talk about the vendors, the people who are all around the perimeter of this room who sell things. We look at menus, we look at accommodations for parking, for seating. We have to figure in a lot of different things, and we find the best place, the best speakers, and the best salespeople, so that people, when they come here, have a good time and come back again next year.
Okay, so where would you least expect to find Bigfoot?
Where would I least expect to find Bigfoot? Right behind you. Made you look.
Do you believe in Bigfoot? If you do, why?
I do, and the biggest thing that drives me is the footprint evidence that's out there. Through different research and everything else, I've got a pretty big collection of footprint casts and handprint casts. And if they weren't real, then who's out there making all the prints? The way that I got into Bigfooting is I hunted and fished with my dad the whole entire time I was growing up. I didn't realize we were looking for Bigfoot. He had always said there's something else in the woods. I didn't ever think it was Bigfoot he was talking about. So as I got older, I started to realize what we were doing. There was nothing around the UP that had reports and sightings and a way for you to track any of the things that were going on. So I started my own. So as far as what else I do, I'm working on starting a museum. So, and then I make the t-shirts.
Where will this museum be quick? Because I really want to use this museum for another video on the Krupkowski murder. So where's this museum is going to be?
Hermansville, Michigan, just off US 2. Most of what I do is field research, so I'm out in the woods, chasing down leads, following up on sighting reports, things like that. So I haven't had a Class A sighting where you have a Bigfoot in front of you and go, that's it, that's Bigfoot, that's the end of it. What I've had is I've seen eye glow, where they will make their eyes glow a different color. I've heard vocalizations. I've found footprints and handprints. I've found hair. I've seen what's happened after they've been there. I've been on expeditions and taken people to areas where they've had their Class A sightings, but I myself haven't had that right in front of me. That's a Bigfoot. When I started out doing Bigfoot research, it was just Bigfoot. I wasn't going to research anything else. Now I've opened myself up a little more, and I will research little people. So like think gnomes and fairies and things like that. We've seen fairy lights. I've taken reports of Dogman and went out and researched those as well.
Huh? Dogman? Which
Yep.
Dogman?
Are you familiar with the Beast of Bray Road?
Oh yeah, we definitely know that.
There's two
Yep.
Dogmans I know. The book one and the cryptid one that I slightly don't know anything about.
Right. The cryptid one is the one that I've gone out and researched before. There's an area of activity up in the UP that I've been in and out of a couple different times now.
So the closest you've gone to actually finding Bigfoot, like the closest to a Class A sighting.
Okay, so the closest I've come to a Class A sighting is we were on an expedition in Germfask, Michigan. I had given a guy that was a non-believer my parabolic microphone and had him pointing and shooting into the bushes around us, and he was listening. I was in the front of the group, he was kind of towards the back, and all of a sudden he just locked up in the middle of the road. We walked back to talk to him, and what he was seeing was a shadow about 8 to 9 feet tall step from one pine tree to another, less than 20 yards away from him. So I was right there. If I'd have been at the back walking with him, I probably would have seen it myself, but I was at the front. So I didn't get to see it, but I was there while he was having his Class A sighting. We had to talk him down and calm him down to get him to start moving on the road again.
You want to prove that Bigfoot's real? Are you that group that try in his tranquilizer gun? That group to try and catch him alive? Or that group to try and catch one dead or alive?
I prescribe to the no harm, no kill idea. I know it's probably going to take a body to prove it to science, but I'm not going to go out and try to find one to shoot it or kill it or tranquilize it or drag it in and stick it in a cage.
Why?
If I found a body, I would bring that in. So I wouldn't want them to come in my house and drag me out. So that's why I don't go into their house to try and drag them out.
So like take a picture
The
of it?
reason why we probably won't do the kill method is we don't want to accidentally start a war.
Right.
Yeah, and we're not like we don't kill.
What's the last place you would expect to find the Bigfoot?
The last place I ever expected to find one is close to town, but they've become great scavengers, and the more we push out, the more they push back in. So as far as finding evidence in a town or watching them dumpster dive, seeing some of the videos, they're kind of everywhere. I don't have a website, but I do have a Facebook page. It is facebook.com/UPBSRO, which stands for Upper Peninsula Bigfoot Sasquatch Research Organization.
Do you believe in Bigfoot? If so, why?
Actually, I do believe in Bigfoot. Bigfoot is a really strong protector spirit guide for me. I have not seen one in person, like a physical, but I have seen him when I have been in danger, like in a car accident or something. I once saw his arm come over and protect me from going through the windshield.
Have you seen any other cryptids that's not Bigfoot? If so, which ones?
Dragons. I have seen dragons. I don't know if are those cryptids or fae. Okay, I did see one actually when I was driving through Montana. It was really, really early in the morning, and I saw, I don't know what it would be. It probably looked a lot like the Beast of Bray Road, kind of, but it was in Montana. It was like outside of Miles, Montana.
Why do you believe in Bigfoot? If you do, then why?
Thank you for that question. I don't believe, when you say believe in something, it's kind of like thinking it's true without having enough evidence, but I have so much evidence that I know Bigfoot is real. So I think of it as knowing instead of believing, which might be a little bit too much of a fine distinction, but I know because I've heard them a million times. I filmed them. Back in 2008, I filmed one with a thermal camera in Texas, right on the edge of the tree line next to a bonfire that some of us were cooking marshmallows and hot dogs at. And you can see that on YouTube. It's called Woodpile Sasquatch, because it was looking at us through a pile of lumber. And so I've seen them, filmed them, I've found their footprints, I've found the structures they make, the stick and tree structures that they make.
So you basically know.
I know, exactly.
Okay.
What do? Well, I go out in the woods, I look for strange-looking stick and tree structures that don't look like the kind of ones that kids like to make or that grown-ups like to make. And then I put my audio recorder out there next to these structures in the woods, and I let them stay out there for a few nights, and then I go out and grab them back and go home and start listening with my headphones on to all the audio. And you can't play it fast because you'll miss things. You have to play it at regular speed, so it takes a long time, like 8 hours every night. And then if I hear wood knocks, like they'll make wood knocks, like, you know that's not a woodpecker, because woodpeckers do lots and lots and lots of knocks really fast. And these Sasquatch will make like just one, like, and then you'll hear an answering wood knock of another Sasquatch down the way going like, and you could tell that something with hands is banging something wooden against a wooden tree. You could that's the sound it makes. And so if that happens, if you hear that on the recording of the audio that you took in the woods, then you figure, well, those are Sasquatch, and these are weird stick and tree structures, so probably they're the ones that made them. And you know that gorillas and chimpanzees and orangutans, they make structures with trees and leaves and wood, and so you figure that Sasquatch do too, because they're primates, and every primate will manipulate its environment. And we're primates, and we manipulate our environments. We make tables and buildings and cars and all sorts of things, but they work with what they have, which is wood, stones, leaves, branches. So we're all kind of in the same big family of primates.
You for sure you heard a Bigfoot on one of your recordings.
Very good. I did the same thing that I just explained. I put an audio recorder out where the structures were, and then I'm listening and listening and listening. Nothing's happening. Then all of a sudden I hear some sort of like voices, and you couldn't tell if it was people or Bigfoot. It was like, and then all of a sudden, sorry. And I thought, that's not a person. And I was completely excited to hear that.
Wait, what if it actually was a person? That'd be so weird.
I know, but it was so loud. You could tell that their lungs, because Bigfoot are, especially the male Bigfoots, the full-grown men Bigfoots, are huge, like 9-10 feet tall, and they have huge chests, much bigger lungs than we do, and so they can make, even though you could tell my recorder wasn't right next to it, it was a ways away, but still it was so loud that it made me do that when what you guys just did when I heard it. And they, whoa! I can send you that recording if you remind me. Write to me. I'll give you my email address is nextofkinnextdoor@gmail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Next question.
Yes, sir.
Do you do anything with other cryptids? If so, what cryptids?
Well, Bigfoot is a cryptid. It just means an animal species that hasn't been accepted by science, by, regular science as being real. And people like us who know that, for instance, Bigfoot is real, we're trying to prove it to the world. There are other cryptids that I don't really know about that other people are studying, like Dogman and Mothman. And
So you're basically saying you only do
I
Bigfoot.
kind of, yeah, there's so many of them, and I feel like I would get distracted if I tried to do all of them, so I just really focus on this one that I know about, instead of trying to do ones that I don't know about, because I want to learn more and more about Sasquatch species.
Until it's proven by science.
It's not yet proven by science. Until it's proven by science. Exactly. And then I'll keep learning after that. But then all kinds of scientists will get on board, and those of us who've just been doing it, not professionally, just kind of in our spare time, we'll probably be all pushed to one side because the scientists will say, okay, we're in charge now. We'll handle this. That's kind of how it's going to work. Also, after science accepts the reality of Sasquatch, there's going to be a lot of work to do to help protect Sasquatch from hunters. People are going to want to, now that it's known to be real, people are going to be running out there and trying to shoot it and get a lot of money for giving a body, or making a trophy out of it, or stuffing it, putting it on a pedestal and charging money for people to come look at it, all that kind of horrible thing.
Or using it for food.
For what?
Well, you probably wouldn't want to eat a gnarly
Oh, for food,
Sasquatch.
yeah. There's easier animals to hunt for that, like deer, for instance.
That'd be actually a pretty dumb idea to actually think, I'm gonna hunt the Sasquatch.
And then after you're finished, the last bite, you eat the last finger, and you think, I could have made $1 million showing that to people.
Yeah, places where there's the most Bigfoots ever sightings. You know what? There's a law in those states saying that you cannot hunt Bigfoots in those states.
Yeah, some places are starting to understand that they're real and try to protect them from hunters. That's true. But I'm hoping that after everybody knows that they're real, those of us who care about the subject will do more and more work to help there be laws against, that shooting and killing a Bigfoot will be just like shooting and killing, or killing however you kill it, a person, and you'll go to jail forever. So we have to protect them. They're a kind of people, so they're going to be protected as a native people, an indigenous people in North America.
So as like real people.
Yeah, real people. They're not just monkeys.
Yeah,
They're much more like people than they are like monkeys.
Do you know about a different type of Bigfoot called the rock apes? Have you heard of them?
What's it called? The rock
Apes?
apes.
They're different types of Bigfoots
I heard about
that throw
them.
rocks at people.
Yeah. Well, lots of Sasquatch will throw. I like the word Sasquatch instead of Bigfoot, but it's the same thing. They will throw rocks, and I had one time. Every morning when I would go to this one place near my house, I would have pine cones thrown at me, and not the like fluffy ones, but the green ones that are really dense and they're really hard. And I said, try to hit me. And three minutes later, one came and hit the tree and bounced on my head. Oh my God, you did hit me.
Why do you believe in Bigfoot?
Why do I believe in them? Well, I just think that there's a lot of mystery out there, and he definitely exists. I mean, I've never seen him, but I believe in the fact that there's a lot of undiscovered animals out there, so Bigfoot has to exist, right? I think he exists.
So next question, what do you do? What you do?
Why do I do this?
Yeah.
Well, I love miniature things, anything small. And I never saw anybody create worlds based on cryptids. So I thought it would be fun to do, so I just started doing it, and here we are, 5 years later.
Where do you get your ideas for your designs?
Well, some of them are recreations, so like that Patterson-Gimlin one in that case at the end, that's from the Patterson-Gimlin footage.
Which cryptids you used in these, and which one of these things is your favorite?
Well, the cryptids I've used is Nightcrawler, Bigfoot, Flatwoods Monster, Gray Aliens, I think that was the first one I said. Mothman, all the popular cryptids. And then I would say my favorite out of these would probably be the UFO one.
Which one?
This one right here.
Oh yeah, that one's kind of cool.
Yeah, that was really fun to make.
What's the last place you would expect to see Bigfoot?
The last place I would expect to see Bigfoot, in my bedroom, probably. But it'd be cool.
Okay, I want to be seen.
Yeah, exactly. Come in my bedroom. That would be cool.
Just like this. Hello, I want to be seen.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But that would be the last place I'd expect to see Bigfoot. But it would be cool.
And weird.
And weird. Yeah.
Because he doesn't just walk into your house saying, hello, I want to be seen.
Yeah. Right? Exactly. Yeah. Do you have any other questions?
Well,
I loved your questions. They're great questions.
Are these all the ones that you've ever made, or is there more?
Oh,
than
no,
just
I have a
ones?
lot more.
Wow.
I have more with me. I just don't have the room to put them out. And then I also have them in my Etsy shop.
Strange little plants. Why do you believe in Sasquatch?
Well, I'm not sure I do, but I've talked to so many people that have had weird experiences and sightings that I think something must be happening. But me, I'm in the middle of the road. I'm not quite sure. How about you? Do you believe in it?
Yeah.
Well, I go out looking for these things, these legends. So somebody like yourself may contact me and say, I thought I saw a chupacabra out in the woods. So I'll go there, interview the person, and then I'll go looking for it. And sometimes I'll try to dig up other people who have had similar stories or a history of why these things might be happening. So for me, it's important to actually be out there adventuring, going out there. Yep.
Why do you search for the cryptids?
Why do I search for a cryptid? For me, it's that curiosity of not knowing if these things exist, but also the adventure of it. Just getting out to things like this, getting out on the road, stopping at roadside attractions, and just making a whole adventure of exploring.
Where would you least expect to find a cryptid?
Whoa, I would probably say inside some building. A lot of the people who I talk to that have experiences, it's usually outdoors. And it's usually when they're driving and not expecting it. They're just out driving about and they see something dark in front of them. So I would say probably the least place I would expect it, maybe like a Target store or a Subway restaurant, something like that, where they're probably not hiding in there.
What cryptids do you think the Krupkowski brothers should search for next?
Well, if you're up in this area, I recommend the Wendigo, going looking for that, especially in the winter months.
That's where our parents draw from.
Oh, okay, let's do something else then. How about a sea serpent?
No.
No, not a sea serpent? How about Mothman creature?
We already did that.
Okay, so no sea serpents. How about these creatures called cryptworms down in Illinois that down a grave snake, as they're called. These giant snakes that were inhabiting this cemetery. So, yeah, that would be one.
Next question.
Yes.
What cryptids have you seen or have people ask you questions about or something?
Most people want to talk about dogmen or werewolves with me, but most people that have seen something that contact me is usually Bigfoot. Yep, that's the one I get the most reports of. But I get reports of people who believe they've seen a vampire, phantom animals like cats and dogs from near Green Bay, some phantom chickens by Chicken Alley. That would be a good family one to go see.
We declare this convention to be over. Bye! We are the Krupkowski brothers. We are in Marinette, Wisconsin.
Want me to take your
Going
guys'
to the
picture?
Bigfoot convention.
We're shooting video right now. No problem.